Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Naked Eye. I am joined by my high school friend and NLL player, Jacob McNabb. Jake, how are you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Man, it's good to be here. It's been a while since I've seen you, so it's good to catch
Man.
up.
I missed you, man. It's been too long.
I know, it's been a while. I miss you too.
Man, we used to be
Catch up for some drinks.
Yeah. We should for sure in the summertime.
I used to kick your ass in the calf playing cards. I remember that.
All the time. I remember I used to take that shit so seriously. I don't know why.
I think everybody did.
I was like mad when I lost. Like, I don't know why it was like that.
Dude, yeah, there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of pride there. A lot of pride.
Okay, so the reason I had you on this podcast is because obviously now you're like a major athlete in the NLL, and you have this new thing this new project that you're starting up that's really exciting. But I first want to talk about like the very beginning. So what got you into lacrosse in the first place?
I played since I was 3, but all my family played. Like my uncle, he played in the NLL, and then my other uncle, he was good. My dad was good. So it was kind of already there. So I was pretty much born into it. And as soon as I got a stick the first day I was born, and then as soon as I could start playing, in a little paperweight league they had here in town, I was playing it right away. So it was something that it was kind of more or less already in my blood, I guess. So, so it was right there for me. So I fell in love with it quick watching them play. It was a little bit of motivation for myself, even, at a young age. So.
Is it true that you wear a jersey, like the jersey number is the same as like your uncle's?
So my uncle used, he used 3 when he was playing in senior, and then so I wore 3 all growing up, and then I went and played in Six Nations on the reserve junior A, and he played there, but he played senior, and he wore 19, but 19 was retired in Six Nations, so I switched around and chose 9-1, and I still wear that in the NL today. Yeah.
Clever. I got you.
So I actually copied him sort of twice. So I might even go back to 3. We'll see.
But I mean, I guess it's fair to say your family was like a big inspiration to get into that sport.
Yeah, big time. Like especially my Uncle Bob. He was like, my dad was always there for lacrosse and coaching me and stuff. But as far as someone to look up to and kind of some motivation to get me to the next level, it was always him. I modeled my game after him and everything. So
right. Shout out to Uncle Bob.
Shout out.
I was told actually that you took like lacrosse super serious, like even as a kid. So would it be fair to say that like even as early on as you can remember, like the dream was to make it to the big leagues?
Yeah, I don't remember a time where that wasn't a dream of mine. I know even when I was like, I can even think of times like in, seeing pictures, you kind of, get those memories again. Like, even when I was 4, you might not remember a lot when you're that age, but seeing pictures, I can just tell, like even putting in like hours in the backyard at that age, playing with, uncles and cousins and stuff like that. And it was just even at that age, you could tell that I had a strong passion for it. And it just continued. It never stopped. The fire just kept burning. And, eventually it got to the point where, I was so in love with it that it was an addiction. And there was nights where I was, like I'd have a floodlight in my backyard, and I'd be playing, and my dad would be getting ready to leave for work in the morning, and I would still be there. I'd have the floodlight on, and my dad's got pictures of me in my backyard with the floodlight on at 5:30 in the morning. Like I had an addiction where as soon as I got to the age where my parents were kind of like letting me do stuff like that, and on weekends I can kind of do what I want as long as I was at home and stuff, and I was taking right advantage of it. And there was a lot of nights I even had I'd come back from junior games when I was playing here in town. I was getting called up when I was younger, and I remember I would always get my dad to pick me up a few hours late from games, and we'd come home from away games, and we'd hop off the bus, and I would just stay at the arena and shoot with the lights off. Yeah. So like there was a lot of was a lot of behind the scenes stuff that a lot of my buddies didn't even see, but it was just, it was what I did, and I had a goal of doing what I'm doing now, and I wasn't gonna take no for an answer. So
Damn, I love the elite mentality. That's awesome, dude.
thanks, man.
So could you walk me through how balancing school and lacrosse was like? Because obviously, as you got older, people probably started recognizing you as you actually be like going into these big leagues. Like, what
Right.
age do you remember, like specifically, where you're like, oh shit, this is getting for real? Like, was that in high school?
I would say, yeah. So when I was playing midget, which is right before going into junior, which is around high school age, I had an idea that if I made the right decisions, going to the right places, that it could be a possibility. I was my first year junior. I was playing with guys that were actually already in that all that kind of went up and played early. So my first few years there, I was like, if I could play with these guys now, if I go down the right path and make some smart decisions, that I could be right there with them. So I had an idea, but I never actually even thought of the situation really. Like I just kept being like in the now, and thinking what I do now is going to affect down the road, and if I do get there or not. So I didn't want to look too far ahead. I always had that dream in the back of my mind, but even when I had an idea, I just I was playing one game, one period, one shift at a time. That's kind of how my dad taught me to play. So
Right. Was it like a point in high school where it became more about lacrosse and less about actual like school?
I don't know. I don't know. I was obsessed with it, but it was the point where it wasn't like I wasn't skipping school or nothing to go play lacrosse, right? So I was doing it on my own time. So
those goddamn floodlights.
Yeah, right. Yeah, missing school in the morning. No, good thing that was a weekend thing. But yeah, I don't even get to high school because of a floodlight. But no, it was like something that I could manage both, and it was good. I left in grade 12 before second semester, and I went to the Hill Academy where my coach in junior, when I was playing Six Nations, his dad owned the Hill, so he gave me a pretty good deal to go there for a semester. So I think that helped too, right? You're going to a school where you don't get to play lacrosse if you are showing up and performing in the classroom. So I think that was big for me, because at St. Mary's the two weren't really related, right?
Right.
You go to school and you do your thing, and whatever grades you have, there was still opportunity to play sports, right? But at this school, it's like, okay, if we're having you here, and this is a private lacrosse school, you got to perform on both. And I think that helped me going into college, where I was like, playing lacrosse is the privilege, and the school itself is the reason why you get to play the game at college and even high school level, right? So that was big for me, just realizing like this is a privilege, and it comes with the schooling. So
fair, yeah, that's awesome. I actually had no idea you spent the semester just like at a lacrosse school. That's so cool.
Yeah, man, it was awesome.
That must have been like a 17-year-old dream. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And it came up fast too. Yeah, my parents just told me like, yeah, he's giving you this opportunity. You don't want to go? And I was like,
imagine that's like a Christmas present. You're like on the back. It's like, yeah, you get to go to lacrosse school. It's like, oh shit, what?
Yeah. Forget about all these clothes you got me. This is awesome.
Oh, so after you graduated high school, what was the move? Like, did you know if you were going to pursue lacrosse more? Was it like, maybe I should do other things?
No, I knew right away, man. So the reason I chose to go to that school was to get some exposure in field lacrosse, so I could get down to school and get on scholarships and stuff like that. And I had the grades to go to some D2 and D3 schools, but the talent pool, and there's so many players to choose from the Division I level. The competition and it varies for these D1 and D2 schools as well, but it's a little bit easier to get in with a lower GPA if the lacrosse program isn't so good, because then there's less people that, are trying to get there, obviously, right? So I was put in a situation where I wanted to go to a Division I school and play the best lacrosse I could, but I didn't have the grades to get. I could have went there, but I didn't have the grades to get the money to go there.
Gotcha.
So the scholarship opportunity wasn't really there. But hey, you can come pay most of your schooling and you'll play on our team. So what my decision ended up being is I went to Onondaga Junior College in Syracuse, New York, and this school is known for having, like, pretty much what it is. It's a second chance for a lot of guys like myself to be able to go and play D1 after, but you still get to play 2 years of lacrosse, and it's good lacrosse. The team I played for, I ended up going there, and the team I played for, we had all kinds of guys that ended up going and playing pro, both in the NLL and the field lacrosse league. And then we had a bunch of guys that went D1. Like, our team was stacked. We were beating teams by 30 goals. Like, wow. we were that good, right? And that was more of a team that you go to and just for a second chance to get that exposure, so you can go and play at this next level. So it was a lot of fun. We ended up having a couple close games in the national championship. Both years I was there, we won. So we were back-to-back national champions. Yeah, so it was awesome. It was a great experience, and going there just opened up a lot of opportunities. I actually didn't end up going to a fourth year in the States because I decided I was itching to. My dream was to play, pro. It wasn't to go play college ball. And I did get a bit of that college ball going to that school and got the whole, sports in the States experience as far as school. So, I love that. That was a lot of fun. Like, everything, the lacrosse, the partying, everything. It was exactly what I was kind of looking for. So that was awesome. And then the opportunity came up where people were saying, you know what, you could go in this draft and you can go, you can go high enough where you'd probably play the first year. And I thought, you know what, I've been waiting a long time. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And then I went to Brock University, because you can play at Brock in Canada and then but you can't play in the States and play pro. So it's kind of weird, but it's because a lot of these schools in the States, if you give out scholarships, you can't be a professional athlete and get paid for it. So for the same sport, right? So, but with Canada universities, they don't have that rule. It doesn't apply.
Oh, wow. Interesting. I didn't know that. Well,
yeah, so there's a couple pros that are playing in that Canadian lacrosse league. So it's competitive too. It's good.
Well, actually, speaking of the draft, sorry, I want to congratulate you, man. You got 31st overall.
Yeah, man.
Could you tell me how exciting that was to make your debut and score your first goal?
Oh, it was cool, man. Didn't even know what to think at the, it was, I definitely blacked out, I think, after, no, I'm not even kidding you. As soon as I scored that goal, I jumped up off the glass. I think I turned around and blacked out. I don't even remember what happened. And then I think I even blacked out later on that night too, at the bar. So
like did you physically, when you say black out, do you mean like you don't remember it, or like you actually physically went unconscious?
No, I was conscious, but I was not there. Like, I turned around and I was celebrating, but it was just like it was something that was built up and thought about for so long, and I had thought about every scenario of a way like that could happen. And then when it finally happens, and the place was packed that night, and when it erupted, I was just like, I was mind blown. It was you wait that long and something like that happens. It's just like the anticipation and everything, and the excitement from being in the game, and even beforehand, with the crowd and realizing that you made it. It was crazy. So when it did happen, it was electrifying, and I had to get back to the bench and take a couple of deep breaths, and then I grabbed the smelling salts and said, I gotta forget about that and get back into this game, right? So.
That's awesome. I'm honestly so happy for you. Yeah. Like, I could just tell by the way you're talking about it. Like, it's a genuine passion, dude. That's great. Did you you just spoke on this? Did you have a moment, like maybe after the game or maybe after a few games, where you're like, "Holy shit! I fucking made it"? Or do you think that moment's to come, or do you think you've already had that feeling?
I think I've had that feeling. I think so. After the game, I was getting all kinds of text messages from buddies and family and friends and everyone, congratulating me and stuff. And that it was still like overwhelming at that point. And just because I didn't realize how many people that I don't even communicate with still actually followed along and still cared. And as far as there was people that said that they were buying the game to watch it that I haven't talked to in years, but they had noticed that I was going to be in the lineup and it's thought they couldn't miss it. But the biggest thing for me when I realized that I made it was when so the day that I played, it was my dad's birthday, and so I come home I hop off my flight, I drive home, and I get home, my dad's asleep on the couch, and I got the ball of when I scored my first goal, right? So he's sleeping on the couch. I walk upstairs and I tap him and I throw the ball at him. And I was like, I said something like, we wait a long time for that one. And he's all foggy eyed, like waking up, right? And I was like, we wait a long time for that one. I throw him the ball, and it was just like he said it was one of the best moments of his life. So that was when I realized, like, I made it, and now it's paying off for my mom and dad too. They put so much into it, like to be able to see, me get everything that I want to get out of it, getting out of it. It's really important to them to not only be there, but enjoy the moment too, because they did a lot to get me there. So that was a big moment for me, realizing that you made it.
That's awesome, man. That's
Yeah.
that's so heartfelt. Fuck. What'd you say to your Uncle Bob after the game was over?
Oh, he was texting me that night. We were both all pinned up, and I think he called me too. And I don't know, we were just shooting the shit. He's pretty laid back guy. He thought it was sweet, but he told me, he's like, oh, I seen it coming. It was only a matter of time. He said I could have told you 15 years ago that you're gonna do it, but he just let me go.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we had a good long talk, and then there's nights where we still talk about it and shoot the shit about the experience and stuff like that. But yeah, he's laid back guy. He was more or less just congratulating me and then saying enjoy it and then get back to it and do it again the next weekend.
Well, dude, I remember seeing on your story actually when you made your debut. I was like, holy fuck, because once again, we haven't spoken in years, and I just see that on your story. I'm like, holy shit, this guy actually fucking did it. He did it. Right? I was like, I couldn't explain it, man. Even though I didn't talk to you for years, I was just so happy for you. I'm pretty sure I shot you a message as well. It's like, dude, that's so cool. I'm genuinely so happy for you. That's such a cool thing. You really proved that hard work can really fucking dedication can really get you to where you want.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it's weird, like a league like how it is, where you still have to work, so you're still this everyday guy, but then on weekends you get to be this guy that gets to play in front of 15, 16, 17,000 people, and it's like you still have that same experience as these hockey players, but the spotlight on these hockey players and NFL players and basketball players is just crazy through the roof, right? You can't go nowhere without being seen. So it's cool just being this this average guy that didn't have a whole bunch of spotlights on him, but be able to do that same thing. I haven't changed one bit since high school.
Yeah, dude, I could tell.
Yeah,
I think it's great.
Exactly.
You're the same guy. I think that's great. I was kind of nervous. That's one thing I was nervous about when starting this interview. I'm like, oh, this guy's gonna be way too big for his boots. He's gonna give me one word answers and
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes of my time.
Just come on. Last time I see you, just shoot the shit laughing, and then the next time I talk to you, I'm big time, and that'd be fucked up.
You got 5 minutes, Brian. Go.
Yeah. Go. I'm not answering that question, Brian. Next question.
How was Lacrosse? Good. Next question.
Yeah. Okay, I had enough of this.
We got you into it. Floodlights. Next question. Oh, well, dude, yeah. Well, actually, this kind of steers me into my next question, because you just mentioned it, how unlike these major sports, you can't like go out even in public without being recognized. So like it's almost as if lacrosse is
Right.
like a whole nother world. But a part of that, which
Hmm.
I don't really understand because lacrosse is a fairly popular sport, is like looking at the salaries. Now I could be wrong because I just did my research through Google. Looking at the
Yep.
salaries, they aren't as like lucrative as like hockey and basketball and all these like major
Right.
sports.
Right.
Even though you're still considered a major athlete in that sport. So my
Right.
question is like, does it bother you that like major lacrosse players have to pursue other careers, or do you think that's a good thing?
So I know my opinion on this is actually is very parallel to a lot of the guys that do play in the league. They think the same way. So the way I look at it is, yeah, you know what, we put a lot of these teams put the same amount of fans in the stands, and I think seeing that and seeing that, there's an NBA team in this arena last night that had less fans than we had tonight. Why are we making this? A lot of guys may look at it that way, but a lot of guys would actually go and do that and play that game in front of those fans and do it for nothing, right? Like I know right now that I would go on weekends for the next 15 years of my career and play, one or two games a weekend and do it for free if I could do it in front of those crowds. Because if you would have asked me at 5 years old, 10 years old, 15 years old, would you go play in the NFL for free? I would have said yes, 100 times yes, right? So, you look at these other big leagues and their contracts. Yeah, sure, it would be nice to have the money, but I like being able to go have a 9 to 5 job, 4 days a week or whatever it is during the season, or 3 days a week during the season, and then I get 3 days to be that guy that I always wanted to be as a kid, right? So I like the little bit of normal, like the little bit of I guess normalcy or whatever. I like how I have that normal life, but then I go and get to be that guy. Like I know that I know that I know that the salary is going to increase within the next few years because of how big it's growing, and I think now that the salary is just going to finally like kind of catch up to that. Like I think they haven't changed it in a while, but there's going to be a time where it jumps, significantly because it hasn't in a while. But the game has grown, so I think it won't be long, and you will see a bit of an increase. But honestly, the extra money for showing up and doing that on a weekend is really nice. It helps out, a lot of guys, and I think that you're making decent money, but there's also more to it than the NLL. Like with my business, there's another opportunity from lacrosse that I can go do these camps and make money that way, and then guys also make money playing senior in the summer. So there's more sources of income when it comes to game lacrosse than just that league for these guys. Mm-hmm. Like there's a handful of guys in NLL that don't have other jobs other than lacrosse jobs. So I'm hoping I can get close to that point and work a couple days a week during the season, and then being able to just play lacrosse and then run these camps. That's where kind of the direction I'm trying to head in.
That's fair. What are you doing for work? Or do you have another job, or is it just balls deep in lacrosse?
No, I work at it's called Wooden Wall Works. I'm a carpenter near
okay.
In Allenford. So I do the trimming on trimming doors and trimming windows.
Okay.
For Barry's, like near Barry's Construction, we do all those houses.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So that's what I do 9 to 5, and then during the season, I'll be working probably 3 days because we usually leave Thursdays or Fridays for lacrosse. So I'll be working like a 3 or 4 day week, and then doing the lacrosse thing usually Friday to Sunday.
Do you ever have like people you work with be like, oh my God, it's you?
No, the only time I really had that is when I went to a lacrosse tournament, and there's people that just like lacrosse people that would know. It's not usually your everyday people that would know, but there's lacrosse people that know, and they wouldn't really freak out, but they pick your brain every once in a while to see it, and just be interested in what you're doing, and so that way it's cool. It's cool, like like it's more the kids that are get excited about it. There's parents that get excited about seeing Mitch Marner or someone, right? But
Yeah.
as far as our league, it's the kids that really like seeing these guys. And after and before games in Colorado, we'll do autographs and stuff like that, and you can just see that the kids are really engaged in it and love it, that they can get on like a personal level. Like there's kids that guys on our team have like known for years, just from them coming back and always talking, right? So you get that connection with the fans, these kids that really care, which is cool. And hopefully I can build a couple of those super fans throughout my career.
Yeah, hopefully. Cool. Honestly, like seeing what kind of setup you have, like in terms of like your career and your life, it's something I really want as well, because like obviously what I want to do is I want to be a sports broadcaster. But the thing is, and I think it's interesting because a lot of people in my course, like they want to reach like the very top. But for me, I say I want to reach a level where it's like people within my community know me and respect me. But I don't want to be stopped every 5 fucking seconds. Be like, oh my God, it's Brian. Gotta get a picture.
Yeah.
So I think like what you have is really cool, where it's like people who watch lacrosse and admire it can watch and admire you. But people who don't give a shit about lacrosse is just like, all right, he's just a normal dude. You have that balance.
Yeah,
that's something I want to. It's that goddamn carpenter who shows up late every single morning.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It's the floodlights. Horrible night. Floodlights all morning, baby.
Yeah. See you at 10:30.
All right. So one thing I want to ask you about is, so we're in the year 2020, right? Last year, everything is going good, presumably, and then COVID hits. How bad did that affect you in your career?
Kick to the balls, man. Kick to the balls. Think about it. You wait this long to get to you wait this long to be able to go play these games and all the work you put in. And then so I played one game. The next weekend I get snowed into Owen Sound. I miss a game. Snowed in, you can't get to the airport. The next weekend, I'm like, all right, finally I'm back. I get another game in. I've been waiting, itching for 2 weeks to get back in the lineup, and I play a game, and then the following week they're like, yeah, no, season's looking like it's going to be canceled. Well, you wait that long, and then you only get 2 games. It's like, man, I've been waiting this long, and now I got to wait, and then we got canceled this year, right? So now I got to wait another year. We're back in December, but it's just like, man, you wait that long and then something like that happens. But I don't know. I kept, I was really down on, the whole fact. And then, my mom, she's a daycare teacher, and she's like saying, like, it kind of, made me realize that there's a lot more problems going on than people not playing lacrosse right now. Right. So, because just with everything she's had to do with her business, and like, when you run a business and you can't even run your business. It's like there's all your income right there. That for months, if you can't be open, it's gone. So, and then she's really up to date on everything, and as far as like the deaths and all that, and I stay away from like the toll that it's taken on the world, really, because I don't know, I'm not a big news guy, so she kind of filled me in and was like, this is a whole lot worse than not playing lacrosse. There's bigger problems. So I don't know, I've had some time to I work on my own business and spend time with my family and my girlfriend and everything. So it's been good. The pandemic, I kind of took the good with the bad, right?
I think personally for me, one thing I didn't really realize until I say this year, like 2021, is I didn't really realize how big of an effect it had on everyone. Like, I kind of made it about myself. Like I spent 2 years. I spent 2 years out of high school to work to finally fucking have enough money to start college, and then this shit happens, and it's the worst, and it's all about me. But you see you see these countries and you see these people like struggling and shit. It's just like, fuck. I really wish I considered it. And there's another thing as well, as it has pushed me to do other things. Like I'm still in the program, and I've taken school way more seriously, and I started this podcast, and like partly the reason I'm talking to you right now. So it's like I think there are a lot of positives to take out as well.
Hello, everyone. Gathering from my facial expression, you can tell there was a bit of a technical difficulty. So let me just fill the gap. He basically just said that he spent the time during lockdown to work on his new project. So yeah, that's all from me. Now, back to the podcast.
I had months of thinking about starting up like the business we got going now, and it's just like I'll get the ball going here soon. I'll maybe start looking at maybe getting a logo and stuff like that. But then my friend came to me. He's like, "This is the best time to do it, right? We can't do camps right now. Let's just go ahead and start all this." So we got our logo and started getting apparel and getting all that stuff set up. So yeah, like you said, it's just like with the time that we have, it's just like you might as well find your little your side gig or something that's going to keep you busy and something you're interested, right?
Well, actually, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, and now this is like a whole new thing, and I'm really happy to talk to you about this, is your whole new project, Northern Torch. What can you tell me about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's me and my buddy from Nova Scotia. His name's Alec Pace. He plays in the NL for the Philadelphia Wings. We played junior A together in St. Catharines, and we live together. He's one of my best friends, and we both we both mentioned that we wanted to do something like that back when we played in junior together, and then both end up just playing NL, and we kind of got talking. We're like, let's do this together. It seems like a good little mix. He's a defender. I'm an offensive guy. Like we have a good little combo there. He's the first guy from Nova Scotia, and he's the only one right now to be playing pro lacrosse.
Wow.
So so we have which is really
really
good
serious flex. That's awesome.
Yeah, which is really good for him, and for being able to leave home and go and pursuing that career. That's another way that we compare is we both had to leave home to kind of get ourselves to that level. And anyways, so he's got pretty much the whole province there that have eyes on him, right? So that's a really good market for us. We plan to go there and put on camps. But yeah, so basically the business is we're going to travel around North America, just in Canada right now, but eventually we want to get to the States and just put on lacrosse camps for all kinds of ages. We're going to do box lacrosse, which is your indoor, and then we're also going to do field lacrosse too. So no, it's good. We're doing a camp March 26th to the 28th, so it's going to be our first camp
Nice.
in Sound. So we're super
Awesome.
excited about that, and it feels good to be able to do the first one back home, and it's a really affordable price for a lacrosse camp. So we kind of just wanted to my coming home as far as the camp and being able to every kid to at least have the opportunity to get in the camp, right? We didn't want to price it too high where it wasn't available for everyone. So I'm super excited about doing that, and we have a good turnout for sign up so far, and we're still 2 weeks out, so it's been good.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that. So let's just assume, theoretically, right? December 2021, COVID is gone. Not a thing anymore. What are your short-term goals, say for the next 5 years, if you have any?
Next 5 years?
Yeah.
Lacrosse, personal. What would you like?
No, I'd say in general. So there's just everything.
In general?
Yeah.
Okay. I'd say for lacrosse, I want to establish myself in the league and be a guy that's in the lineup every night, without a question. I want to take on a little bit more of a role there too. I want to be able to become a leader within the first few years of my career. So that's lacrosse wise. You always want to go and win championships. That's always one that is on the forefront of your goals, because that's what you're there for. So that's always the goal, is to be my best and every game, at least every year, every game to learn more and get better and just improve my craft. So I'd say, for lacrosse is just, one day at a time and just continue to get better and really enjoy the process while I'm there. And yeah, definitely not going to take it for granted now that I've had a year taken away from me. So I'm just going to soak it all in and really enjoy being there. And then as far as personal, with this camp, I just think it's a good way for me to give back to kids, and doing all kinds of giveaways and stuff like that for kids. And we're going to eventually start up a program that every year we're going to collect gear from guys that play pro, because you get new gear like all the time, right? So everybody has all this extra gear that they're not using. So we're going to eventually start up a little thing that's like along with our company, where we just take this gear and get it to kids in Ontario and in Nova Scotia that don't have the money for gear, and just give them the opportunity, like, here's all the equipment, and then so they have the opportunity where they just can pay their registration and go play lacrosse. So we're probably gonna collect all this equipment and then go to the minor lacrosses in all these towns and say, do you have any families that you think this might be a good option for them? If not, we'll just give it to you guys. And if it comes up where there's a kid that needs stuff, or wants to try the sport but doesn't want to go and spend all the money, in case he doesn't like it, well, then here you go. Let's give this kid in some equipment, and we'll try to collect it from all different kinds of age groups. So then we have if you're 17 or if you're 5, you can find equipment to play. So that's another little thing that I want to do in the next few years. And then I don't know, personal life, I guess 5 years, I definitely want to have my first house in 5 years. But along with a bunch of other stuff, but we'll play that by ear, I guess. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Just one day at a time. But yeah, just continue to better myself both on and off the floor.
I think that's awesome, especially being someone who had a very growing up, having a childhood where not a lot of money was in the household. I wish I had something like that. So I think, dude, you really should push forward with that. I think that's amazing.
Yeah. No, we think that too. Like, it's nice to have a business where you're making money, but when you're doing something like this and there's so many places that are already giving you so many opportunities, it just feels like it's right to go and give back in a way that is gonna, give back to the game that's given me so much, like all kinds of friends, taking me so many places, right? At some point, you got to give back, and I can't wait to do it. It's something I'm really excited about.
Dude, I think I honestly wish you the best with everything.
Appreciate that. Thanks, man.
All right, so we're going to go on to our next segment here. It's called Quick Fire. So basically what it is I will ask you 10 questions, but you can't think about it. You can't break it down. You just got to answer off the cuff. All right, boom, just answer as fast as you can. Are you ready, Jake?
All right, let's do it.
All right, you have to answer. Movies or music?
Movies.
Fishing or hunting?
Hunting.
Pizza or samosas?
Pizza.
Bud Light or Captain Morgan?
Oh, my two favorites. Can't be doing that to me. Can't do that to me. I'll take both. Both my favorites. I'll show you my fridge right now. I swear it's got both.
Would you rather explore outer space or explore the ocean?
Outer space. I gotta find aliens, man.
St. Mary's
Strong
or Brock?
St. Mary's, you kidding me? I love Brock, but it's St. Mary's.
Kylie or Kurt?
Oh, you can't do that to me. You can't do that to me.
Bro, I swear I got both of them in the fridge. It's right over there. Oh, fuck. All right, we'll say both.
I don't know. I was just like, oh, he did his research. Damn it.
Nashville or Panama?
Damn, that's good too. I love both those places. Panama was sweet, but Nashville is my place. I like the country music, so.
All right, Nashville it is. Luke Combs or Luke Bryan? I know you had a beer with Luke Combs, so Luke Combs?
Oh, Luke Combs.
Yeah,
Luke Combs for sure. Yeah.
Are you ready for this final question? This is going to be big. You ready?
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
The Toronto Maple Leafs or the Colorado mammoth?
Mammoth.
Oh shit!
I gotta go with my team. I love
Awesome,
them.
dude.
That's my team.
That's
my
great.
team.
I love that. All right, dude. That's been the podcast, dude. Thank you so much. As part of my last segment, I want to give you the opportunity to plug whatever you want. The stage is yours.
No, I just want to say thanks for having me on, man. It's good to catch up and have some good laughs. It's been a while. Hopefully, after the pandemic, I maybe see you out at the bar or something like that, and we could shoot the shit. But yeah, as far as the business, I guess, if you're interested in lacrosse camps or anything along the lines of lacrosse, yeah, check out our Northern Torch Lacrosse. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I really appreciate it.
Dude, no, for sure. Dude, thank you so much for being on. I was looking forward to this for as soon as I started up the podcast, you're one of the first people. I'm like, I have to interview this guy.
Gotta get him on.
Not only are you now doing so much cool shit, it's he's just a great guy overall. So it's I have to have him on. So this
that's awesome, man. Thanks.
This is definitely mission complete. So dude, once again, for the millionth time, thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, no problem. It was nice catching up. Thanks, man.
So that's been another episode of Beyond the Naked Eye. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.